Have you noticed that airline seats, they keep getting closer and closer together? For me at 6'4", it's really cramped and uncomfortable. But some other people say it's even more serious than that it's putting their life at risk if the plane were to crash. It is a tough night here in the Triad as law enforcement mourns the loss of a Greensboro police officer and the public looks for answers about what happened. Right now, we are on top of breaking news out of Kernersville. There's a massive fire burning in the middle of downtown. It started shortly after 8 with first responders rushing to the scene. It's 11 o'clock. Taco Bell should be open. It's closed. Same thing at KFC next door. Across the street, you can barely make out that's a McDonald's because it's so dark with the lights off, and ditto for Burger King. There's a whole lot of hangry folks out here tonight because earlier today, across town, city inspectors found a sample of water that tested positive for E. coli. As the Summerfield bill worked its way through here at the state capitol, records show the project developer gave thousands of dollars to Senate Leader Phil Berger's campaign. Simply put, construction's not keeping up with demand. A new report by the Greensboro Planning Department highlights a study from the Greensboro Regional Realtors Association, saying we need 32,000 new units over the next 5 years. To get that, we'd have to increase construction by more than 320%. So right after CNN broke the story, Robinson went on their network to deny that the comments were his. But he never disavowed the feelings behind them. He never clarified 100% that he does not identify as a, quote, black Nazi or think that slavery should be brought back. So today, I asked him to go on the record to make it really clear to voters where he stands. He ignored the questions and instead said this. Lieutenant Governor, for the record, how do you feel about slavery?
No more questions.
How do you feel about Nazis, sir?
No more questions, because you're from Greensboro, and in Greensboro, when I made history as the first black lieutenant governor of North Carolina, you did not knock on my door. Don't knock on it now.
After that, Robinson walked off, seemingly forgetting or ignoring this interview WFMY News 2 did with him on election night.
Made history tonight in North Carolina.
An interview request we made to sit down with him since then. 6 months after Hurricane Helene, there are still public showers set up in the middle of Old Fort for whoever needs them. I talked with one woman who says she not only uses it to get clean, but on really cold nights, her best option is to sleep inside one of the stalls. A public bathroom should not be a home.
Really rough. Really, really rough.
Brooke Lanning says on cold nights, she sleeps inside one of these temporary shower stalls. They can't be more than 10 feet long and 3 feet wide. When Old Fort flooded, Brooke says she lost her place to live. She says people have tried to help, but she doesn't qualify for the aid or there's some other problem.
My ex bought me a building, but I don't have anywhere to put it.
So 6 months after Hurricane Helene, she thinks her best option is still sleeping in the showers.
I'll live. I'll make it through this.
Down by the water and the worst of the damage.
There's nothing here but dirt. I mean, our whole house was gone.
Paul Grindon is building the foundation for his next chapter, living in a temporary trailer the state will provide for the next 6 months.
I turned 79 yesterday, and this is to start over again is just unbelievable, just unbelievable. My truck washed away, my Harley washed away, my house washed away, everything I had washed away. But
these are photos that were taken prior to the storm and then after the storm.
At Town Hall,
this area was one of the harder hit areas.
Mayor Pamela Snipes keeps these photos up as a daily reminder of how far her hometown has come.
The first 24, 48 hours, I thought the town of Old Fort was gone. I didn't think we could come back, but we did. And we will continue to go forward.
Crews are still working around the clock to clean up damage.
And now we have water, we have power, we have sewer, we have cell phone service.
And volunteers are working to build more small shelters, many far away from their own homes. Visiting from Ohio.
Having a heart for people who have lost everything and just wanted to help.
And Pennsylvania.
Love my neighbor.
As horrible as it's been, everything has a silver lining. People came together. People are still helping each other, and the town is improving.
Everyone trying not to dwell in the past, but focus on a place to live in the future.
You can't get upset. You can only cry so much.
In Old Fort, I'm Ben Briscoe. Even after 27 years, the pain doesn't go away.
I must have started screaming because everybody came running to my office.
Allison Jacobson was at work when her child's daycare called and said there was something wrong with Connor. She rushed to the hospital.
I kept just praying, let Connor be okay, take me, whatever. And I got to the emergency room and I walked in and I saw my husband. All he said is, Connor's with God. And I fell to the ground and I think I passed out.
After her 3-month-old died from sudden infant death syndrome, Allison poured her grief into action with the nonprofit First Candle, educating other parents about the danger of babies sleeping in the wrong positions. For more than 2 decades, the group worked closely with Health and Human Services' Safe to Sleep program, until last week, when they got this email saying HHS terminated the entire office. With that comes the leadership of and the involvement in the Safe to Sleep campaign.
It is beyond me for a government that says they care about babies and they care so much about children to cut a program whose sole mission was to save babies' lives. And I know that without this program, there are going to be more deaths.
Across the country, SIDS deaths have dropped 55% since the Safe to Sleep campaign started in 1994. That's more than 1,500 children saved every year. But in North Carolina, there were still 135 babies in 2022 that died in their sleep, including in Guilford and Forsyth counties. While the national Safe to Sleep is being cut, a smaller program is currently funded by the state. Those advocates say losing the national program will hurt.
It's a huge loss. It really is kind of the North Star for all of us who are doing local work to try to find out the best way to promote these good recommendations for safe sleep.
The national program also provided printed information that parents could take home from the doctor's office. Campaign materials are still online to download, but if local groups try to order copies, the website says they are currently unavailable.
If you've ever been in a doctor's appointment when you might receive this information, you're getting a lot of information. So receiving that handout, something that you can bring home, something that parent can share with other folks who are watching that baby, that's really important to have something tangible.
Just devastating for me when I think about my son who died. And I talk to parents who are in our bereavement support groups who say, I didn't know. No one ever told me. That is heartbreaking.
I reached out to the Health and Human Services to find out why cuts were made to this program. The agency sent this response. Safe to Sleep campaign materials and tools remain available to the public. No final decision has been made regarding the future of the Safe to Sleep campaign. But again, for right now, the program's leaders and staff have been fired as part of the Trump administration's sweeping budget cuts.
That was the very first photo.
When Jessica met Matt Smith, she knew in a matter of moments.
The butterflies in the stomach, the chest pounding, you just get that feeling that that's the one.
The two were married 9 months later.
He was funny. He was straightforward, blunt, and honest.
Matt lived his whole life moving fast, understanding that seconds matter as a firefighter protecting Davidson County.
That was his heart and soul. That's all he wanted to do since he was 5 years old. He used to go around in the stores and make siren noises. That's what his mama said.
The guys at the station even called him TikTok because Matt spent his free time making videos with his love.
Well, in North Carolina, way back in the hills, lived my old pappy and he had him still.
That's when we started doing the hillbilly character, blacking our teeth out and dressing like hicks.
They called themselves those crazy hillbillies, gaining more than 500,000 followers online. posting every day, trying to make strangers laugh.
I have got a mind of my own.
Why didn't you bring it with you when we got married?
Yes, we actually got a lot of people out of depression and a lot of people off their medications where they was on for depression.
But in January, the clock started running out.
Went in for, excuse me.
Take your time.
Shortness of breath and chest pain at Baptist, and they done blood work, scans, and it came back that the two doctors came in there and told him, you have stage 4 cancer. He was just in shock. He didn't believe it. But me, I was just like a total mess.
Come, Jesus, come.
While fighting skin cancer, Matt still wanted to post from the hospital with his wife.
I'm not gonna lose you, whatever it takes, I will stay here with you.
Each day he was in the hospital, it was progressing more and more and more and spreading to the rest of his organs. He only had weeks to live.
This is a hard thing for me to take in, going from being normal and healthy to going to the hospital last weekend and finding out that I have cancer.
3 weeks after the diagnosis, Matt was gone. A reminder, there's never enough time.
Wish I had more.
But we can make the most of it by filling life with love.
I love you all.
Well, it wasn't the ending that they had hoped for, but fans from High Point tell me they've really loved their time in Providence, Rhode Island anyway, including one family who had a little bit more on the line than most. In the middle of thousands of fans is a cheeky family feud. On one side, mom Jennifer Gazelle has a face painting for High Point. On the other, Purdue.
Hi, I'm a Purdue alum, and this is my daughter Ava, who goes to Purdue, and my son Ryan, who goes to High Point. Boiler up, baby! So we're all here together.
As soon as the bracket came out during Selection Sunday, they knew the game would be a memory to last a lifetime.
I thought High Point has a lot of heart, and that they were going to give Purdue a run for their money.
It's going to make the victory all that much better, baby. Come on.
All I gotta say is boiler up.
Boiler up!
High Point
Boiler
University,
up.
fake university. Purdue's where it's at, baby.
In the end, Purdue outpaced High Point 75-63. But Panthers players say they are leaving their first time at the big dance feeling loved and supported by their fans.
High Point's a family, man. Like, you can just sense it the moment you step on their campus. I don't know if any of you guys have been up there, but the place is incredible. Like, we love going to school there. The family there is just incredible. And, you know, we got so many people that are very passionate about High Point basketball. And it's just a joy to be a part of something like that.
Dude, it's awesome. I'm so excited. Like, I love my team. I love my family. I think I love my team more today, though, so I'm excited.
He might be in trouble for that one. High Point also chartered a private plane today to make a public showing of support. 200 students flew up for just a few hours to cheer on their team. After the game, I talked with some of them. They said, you know, this might be the men's basketball team's first time at the big dance, but they know it won't be their last. In Rhode Island, I'm Ben Briscoe.